Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about how to overcome negative feelings through the lens of Psalm 91, one of the most powerful and reassuring scriptures we have. Psalm 91 is one of the most profound declarations of divine protection, a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles, no matter how overwhelming they may seem. When we wake up each day, we are faced with two choices. We can allow fear, doubt, and uncertainty to dictate how we move through the day, or we can anchor ourselves in the truth of God's promises. Psalm 91 offers us the latter. It's a spiritual stronghold, a source of daily strength, and a weapon against every negative force that tries to invade our minds. This psalm speaks of safety and refuge, assuring us that he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Imagine starting your day with this truth. It's more than just words. It's a declaration that you are covered, that nothing can harm you when you are under the protection of God Himself. When we speak these words with conviction, we align our minds, our hearts, and our spirits with a higher reality one where fear has no power, where doubts are dissolved, and where faith rises to take its rightful place. But here's the key. You don't just read Psalm 91, you live it. You breathe it in. You declare it with authority. It's not just about intellectual understanding. It's about allowing these promises to seep into your very soul, transforming how you see the world and how you respond to it. When the psalm says, "Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence," it's a reminder that whatever traps the world sets, whether it's negative thoughts, toxic emotions, or external challenges, none of it can overcome you when you are protected by God. Psalm 91 is about positioning yourself under the divine covering, which allows you to walk with confidence no matter what circumstances you face. Each day you might encounter situations that attempt to shake your faith or instill doubt. But when you start your morning by affirming these words, by visualizing yourself under the shadow of the Almighty, you equip yourself with a strength that transcends human limitations. The power of this scripture is that it shifts your focus from what's around you to what's above you, from earthly troubles to heavenly security. When you internalize Psalm 91, it becomes your spiritual armor. Every line is a reminder of God's active role in your life, His commitment to your safety, and His unfailing presence. It's not about ignoring the realities of life challenges. Stress and negativity will always be present, but it's about knowing that none of these things have the final say. They don't have the power to derail your purpose or steal your peace. This is where daily strength comes from. It's not about trying to muster up positivity on your own or pretending negative emotions don't exist. It's about grounding yourself in a truth that is unshakable, a truth that outlasts every fleeting emotion or temporary setback. Psalm 91 gives you the framework to do just that. It calls you to dwell in the secret place of God's presence, to remain steadfast in faith, and to walk boldly knowing that His angels are guarding you. Each morning when you wake up and speak these words, you tap into a well of divine energy that replenishes your strength, giving you the clarity and courage to face whatever comes your way. It's like spiritual fuel for your day, a reminder that you are not walking through life alone, vulnerable to whatever life throws at you. Instead, you are walking in divine alignment, under the protection of a God who commands armies of angels on your behalf. Understanding the source of negative feelings is a critical step in overcoming them. Negative emotions such as fear, doubt, anxiety, and sadness are not random. They arise from specific triggers, often rooted deep within our past experiences, beliefs, or current situations. Recognizing this is the first step in taking control of your emotional state, rather than allowing it to control you. Negative feelings are like signals on the dashboard of a car. They alert us that something is happening within, something that needs attention. But too often, instead of addressing the source of these emotions, we suppress or ignore them, hoping they will disappear on their own. The truth is, these feelings persist because they are rooted in unresolved fears or unexamined thoughts. And until we confront them at their source, they continue to influence how we feel, think, and act. Fear, for example, is one of the most common sources of negativity. It manifests in various ways: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears may stem from past disappointments or insecurities that we've carried with us over time. When you wake up feeling anxious or uncertain, it's often because a deeper fear is lurking in your subconscious. That fear casts a shadow over your mind, making it hard to see clearly and act with confidence. Another major source of negative feelings is self-doubt. This stems from a lack of belief in oneself, often fed by past experiences where we felt inadequate, unworthy, or incapable. When these feelings arise, they feed into a cycle of negative thinking which keeps us stuck. We doubt our abilities, and that doubt limits our actions, reinforcing the belief that we aren't enough. Recognizing that this cycle exists allows you to break free from it. Negative feelings can also arise from external influences, people, environments, or circumstances that drain your energy and disrupt your peace. Toxic relationships, overwhelming work demands, or even societal pressures can all contribute to how we feel on a daily basis. However, these external factors are only triggers. The real issue lies in how we internalize these experiences. When we let outside forces dictate our emotions, we give them power over us. Recognizing this helps you shift your perspective from being reactive to being proactive in managing your emotional state. Often, negative feelings are fueled by the stories we tell ourselves. Our minds are constantly processing information, and if we aren't careful, we can fall into patterns of negative self-talk. We start to believe the worst about ourselves or our circumstances, reinforcing the very feelings we want to escape. But when you become aware of the stories you're telling yourself, you can change them. You can rewrite the narrative in a way that empowers you rather than keeps you trapped in negativity. Recognizing the source of negative feelings requires awareness and honesty with yourself. You have to be willing to dig deep and ask the tough questions: why am I feeling this way? What fear or belief is at the root of this emotion? By doing so, you take the power back. You're no longer at the mercy of emotions that seem to come out of nowhere. Instead, you are able to trace them back to their origin, confront them, and choose a different response. Acknowledging the source of negative emotions doesn't mean you'll never feel them again, but it does mean you'll be better equipped to deal with them when they arise. Instead of being overwhelmed, you'll recognize them for what they are: temporary, changeable, and within your control. This awareness creates space for healing and transformation. Faith is not just a belief system, it's a force that has the power to completely transform your inner state. When negative feelings like fear, doubt, or anxiety creep in, they often do so because we've lost sight of what is possible through faith. Activating faith is the key to shifting from a place of negativity to a place of strength, peace, and confidence. Faith allows you to tap into something greater than yourself, something beyond your current circumstances. It empowers you to rise above the emotions and thoughts that are weighing you down. Faith begins with a decision. It's a conscious choice to believe in a higher truth, even when everything around you seems uncertain or chaotic. When you choose to activate faith, you are choosing to see beyond your immediate circumstances and emotions. You are acknowledging that there is a greater reality at work, one that transcends what your eyes can see or your mind can comprehend. Faith says, I may not know how, but I know who. It's about trusting in the divine, in the promises of God, and in the certainty that you are never alone, no matter how tough things seem. One of the most profound shifts that happens when you activate faith is that you move from a reactive to a proactive state. Negative feelings often make us feel powerless, as though we are at the mercy of our emotions or situations. But faith empowers you to take control. It changes your perspective from focusing on the problem to focusing on the solution. Faith reminds you that your current situation is not the final word. What may seem like a setback or a struggle is often a setup for something greater, something that will only be revealed through the lens of faith. Activating faith requires more than just believing. It requires action. Faith without action is stagnant, and it doesn't have the power to create change. To truly shift your inner state, you must step out and act as if what you believe is already true. Speak words of faith, even when your feelings suggest otherwise. Declare what you know to be true from a place of conviction, not based on how you feel in the moment. Your feelings may fluctuate, but your faith can remain steady. Another important aspect of activating faith is consistency. It's not enough to have faith in the moment when things are going well. Real transformation happens when you activate faith consistently, day after day, especially in the midst of challenges. Faith is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When you make faith a daily practice, it begins to shape not only how you respond to life's difficulties, but also how you view the world around you. Over time, faith becomes the default mode through which you experience life, and negative feelings have less of a hold on you. Faith shifts your inner state because it changes your focus. Negative emotions often come from focusing on what's lacking, what's going wrong, or what might happen in the future. Faith redirects your attention to what is possible, what is true, and what is promised. It grounds you in the present moment, reminding you that God is with you right now, in this very situation, offering you peace, guidance, and strength. When you focus on faith, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, from fear to trust, from doubt to assurance. Moreover, faith instills a sense of peace that transcends understanding. When you activate faith, you are no longer controlled by the ups and downs of life. Yes, challenges will still come, but they won't have the same power to shake you. Faith provides a solid foundation, a place to stand firm when everything else feels uncertain. It reminds you that no matter what happens, you are supported by something far greater than the temporary circumstances of life. This sense of security and peace creates a profound shift in your inner state, allowing you to face challenges with grace and strength. Another key element of activating faith is surrender. It's about releasing the need to control every aspect of your life and trusting that things will unfold in divine timing. Often, negative feelings arise because we feel the need to control outcomes or worry about things beyond our control. But faith teaches you to let go of the need to figure everything out and trust that there is a plan greater than your own. Surrendering to faith means believing that even in the midst of uncertainty, everything is working for your good. This level of trust frees you from the mental and emotional strain of trying to make things happen on your own. In addition, activating faith opens the door to divine intervention. When you choose to believe, you invite God's power to work in your life. Faith is a spiritual force that moves mountains, shifts circumstances, and changes hearts. When you activate faith, you align yourself with divine favor, opening up opportunities and breakthroughs that wouldn't be possible otherwise. It's not about trying to make things happen through sheer willpower. It's about positioning yourself in a place where miracles can occur. Faith also shifts your inner state by helping you reinterpret challenges. Instead of viewing difficulties as obstacles, faith allows you to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. It reframes hardship, showing you that every challenge is an invitation to go deeper in your trust and reliance on God. When you activate faith, you no longer see challenges as threats to your well-being, but as catalysts for spiritual and personal growth. This shift in perspective allows you to approach life's difficulties with a sense of purpose and meaning, rather than fear or dread. Finally, faith empowers you to embrace the unknown. So much of our anxiety and negative emotions come from uncertainty about the future, about what might happen or what might go wrong. But faith gives you the courage to step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that you are guided and protected every step of the way. It removes the fear of uncertainty and replaces it with a sense of adventure, trust, and possibility. When you activate faith, you no longer need all the answers because you know that you are being led toward a higher purpose, even if the path isn't clear at the moment. In conclusion, the journey to overcoming negative feelings begins with a deliberate decision to harness the power of faith, recognize the sources of those emotions, and ground ourselves in the promises of Psalm 91. Each day presents new challenges and uncertainties, but by starting the morning with this prayer, we remind ourselves that we are not walking through life alone. Instead, we are under divine protection, shielded from the storms of fear, doubt, and anxiety. When we recognize that negative feelings are often rooted in fear, self-doubt, or external pressures, we take the first step toward reclaiming control over our emotional state. It is by acknowledging these emotions, not avoiding them, that we gain the clarity to address them at their core. More importantly, activating faith empowers us to rise above these feelings. Faith shifts our perspective, moving us from a mindset of lack and uncertainty to one of strength, confidence, and peace. Psalm 91 reminds us that we are guarded by a force greater than any earthly obstacle. Through consistent faith, we can turn negative emotions into opportunities for growth, trusting that every challenge we face is part of a divine plan. By focusing on faith rather than fear, we embrace the unknown with courage, knowing that no harm can come to our spirit. When faith becomes our foundation, we find the peace and power to navigate life's journey with unwavering strength.